Burnout is the result of chronic stress. This show is about helping career individuals to actually feel empowered and to have tools that they can use in their daily lives, because I truly adore, respect, and want to help those that have dreams and they want to build and create in their lives. And I want to show them that they can do this without breaking their bodies or relationships in the process.
Hey there, welcome to the Well Balanced Mind, and I am Shannon Rollins, your host. I'm a hypnotherapist located in Orlando, Florida, and I'm so happy that you're joining me for the topic of today. And if you haven't watched some of the latest episodes, I really covered your emotional state in the last month and doing some episodes really talking about digging into what are our emotions and what do they mean for us. And this show specifically is designed to helping you have more insights to understanding your mind, understanding who you are as a person, so you could live ultimately a happier and healthier life altogether, right? Isn't that what we want? We just want to be happier. We want to be able to understand ourselves better. And so today's episode I'm really excited about because it's really about your mental health routine and what you need to do to have a happier mood, a happier life from the inside out. And really, when we talk about routines, you've probably seen a ton of research out there about specific morning routines that can boost happiness, or specific afternoon or evening bedtime routines. And really, routines is where it's at. Routines are really great for your mental health because your brain knows what to expect. You know what timeline you're on throughout the day, and you know why you're doing it. You know why you're doing these certain things. And so as we dive into this talk today, specifically about routine, I'm going to give you some great tips of mental health routines that could really help you boost your happiness level or your energy level. Because what I've noticed as of lately is I've had quite a few people come in who are my clients, and they tell me, Shannon, I'm exhausted. I am so tired, I don't have enough energy, and I'm sad. I feel depressed. I have depressed feelings because I'm just exhausted. And you can only imagine if you've ever been exhausted, and believe me, I've been there too, it's not fun. You don't want to have a good time because all you're thinking about is sleep. And so these routines can really help you get out of your own way, decrease your stress level, get more energy in your life, creating more of that energetic flow that you need. So with routines, there's two different types of routines. There's primary routines. Now, primary routines are usually non-negotiables. They're things that you have to do, or we hope that you do. This includes brushing your teeth, taking a shower, clipping your nails when they need to be clipped. The basic things as a human being that you have to do. Drinking and eating, we need to do these things to actually live. It's almost like the Maslow's hierarchy of needs that I introduced a couple episodes ago, and really that basic hierarchy level is the safety. It's our primal instinct that we have to feel safe as humans before we build upon that with anything else. It's just like that with this. With any type of routine, you have to have a primary routine looped in, and that includes all of the basics. Sleeping. Sleeping is a great primary routine that we have to have. And sleep is so underestimated when it comes to mental health. A big reason why many of us do feel really like sad feelings every now and then is because we're not getting enough sleep, and that's when we repair. Our body and our brain and our mind-body connection in general, everything repairs when you're sleeping. So you're able to even wake up with a new perspective on things. Like, when people tell you to sleep on it, there's a reason for that. If you have to make a decision, you sleep on it. It gives your mind time to process what's going on. And then we have our secondary routines. Now, our secondary routines are usually negotiables. You're running late for work. You slept in. The secondary routine is the routine that usually goes out the window. And so I want to encourage you today, if there's one takeaway you have from this episode, I want you to pick one secondary routine and push it into a primary routine. What is a non-negotiable self-care item that you will choose to put in your primary routine? And that's really up to you, but what you have to do is start with one secondary routine, and then you build upon that to where you have this beautiful mental health routine all together that can really change your life. And so some of these techniques that I go over, there's about 4 that I'll go over total, but you can choose your own. Everyone has their own way. That's what I don't like sometimes when you look in the personal development world is people will say this is the only way you can meditate. This is the only way that you can exercise. You're your own person. No one knows you better than you know yourself. No one can tell you what to do when you know what works best for you. If you don't like meditating in the morning, then don't do it. Do it in the afternoon. Find your flow. Find the time that works best for you. And we'll get into habits in a moment on how you can build some of these healthier habits along the way. So when we're talking about these secondary routines, since this is really a focus, how to beef up your secondary routine schedule, the first is having movement. So movement in general is really great to boost your mood, your mental health, to release endorphins. Now, I used to call this exercise. And in talking with many people over the years, I found that exercise kind of gets a bad reputation because you've seen all of the research, all the studies out there, and people just pushing, you have to do this much exercise, this much exercise. And we all really associate exercise with being at the gym, running on the treadmill, or lifting weights. So we're just going to call this movement. Does it mean walking, swimming, biking, dancing? This all counts as forms of exercise. So being able to choose some movement throughout your day, every single day, is going to make a huge difference. This could be a small walk in the morning. For example, if you have a dog and you usually let him out the doggy door in the back, could you incorporate a routine where you're actually walking him in the neighborhood throughout the day? And this could be a huge shift. It could be 10 minutes. It could be 15 minutes. But you have to start somewhere. Start small. The key to building a habit is to start small. Usually what we do is we bite off more than we can chew. And we choose all of these health routines that we really, really want to tackle. And we know we can do it, but then we do too much too soon to where we get overwhelmed. Remember, we are really busy humans. So being able to choose one small thing throughout the day is going to make a huge difference. So movement is one great option that you could introduce to your mental health routine every single day. The second one is doing 10 minutes of me time. Do you have to lock yourself in the bathroom to do the me time? What does me time look like for you? I even sometimes do, it's called worry time within my me time routine. If I find that I'm very, very stressed out and there's a lot going on and I keep doing the what ifs and my inner critic is popping up, then I actually schedule worry time in the morning. And this is a stress management technique where you write down all of the things that are worrying you and then you throw it away and you promise yourself, that was my worry time. Now I'm not allowed to worry about it outside of this time frame. Or is your me time just stepping outside? Or is it taking time for yourself to meditate, doing some affirmations? What does it mean for you? Just to sit and do whatever you want to do. Is it reading your book? Is it praying? It really depends. It depends on the person and how this can really help you in your life. So scheduling that 10 minutes of me time is another great option. That's option number 2 that you could potentially incorporate into your mental health routine. Which brings me to my third one, which is probably my favorite, mindfulness and meditation. Now, there are some differences between mindfulness and meditation, but one great example I love to give is when you're walking outside. Do you notice all the nature around you? Do you see a bird flying or a butterfly in the ground? This is just an example of mindfulness. And what are some more ways that we can stay grounded and be mindful? Is to just be aware of what's around you. Putting your hand under the faucet when you're washing your hands and just feeling the water, closing your eyes and just something as simple as feeling the water on your skin. Or really being able to, at lunchtime, instead of just scarfing down your lunch, being able to take slow, conscious bites of your lunch and just taking it in, be like, that tastes really good. And taking time to let it sit on your taste buds. These are just examples of mindful eating, of mindful being in general. Taking the time to savor these small moments that often pass us by way too quickly makes a huge difference. And then meditation, that's taking the time to fixate on within us, fixate in between our two physical eyes when our eyes are closed, fixate on our breathing, fixate on a thought, on an object like a candle or even a fireplace. Having a fire pit could be a mindfulness meditation practice for you. Because here's what we do. We run around, I'm guilty of this too, right? We run around saying, if I don't do an hour of exercise and if I don't do 25 minutes of meditation, it means that I didn't practice my mindfulness for today, which isn't true. You could be outside on your patio roasting a marshmallow and just taking it in, smelling everything around you, and that could be a form of mindfulness. And if you think about it, our brain is working 24/7. When we're sleeping, we're dreaming. So our brain is still working. Our subconscious mind is still working around us. And so we have to take breaks. We have to take time to have breaks for ourselves to really create this mindfulness technique where your brain is getting a break and you get refreshed. Even if you're new to meditation, go to the latest episode, the last one, and we really focused on a letting go meditation, letting go of our worries. And just start there. Start small. Start with a guided meditation, or start with mindfulness, or do both. Now, the great thing about this is you can incorporate this all into one. So as I'm giving you ideas, you can maybe start to see, okay, this might work for me and this might not work for me, because it's supposed to be tailored to you. It's your routine, what works best. Which leads me to my fourth technique that I'd love to bring to you today, which is nutrition. We often really relate nutrition to weight loss, and it puts a lot of pressure upon us. But the reality is, if our nutrition isn't correct and if our nutrition isn't in check, then it could really affect our mental health state. Eating nutritious fruits, vegetables, lean proteins in general, and having a good nutritious diet can actually boost your mood. It can regulate your digestive system, and I already mentioned this, but it's just so important to me, boosting your energy level. Boosting your energy level is already going to make you feel happier because you're going to have energy to do the things that you've been wanting to do. Oftentimes, we know what we want to do, but we just don't have the energy to do it. We're tired. Right? And having that 3 o'clock slump, that 4 o'clock slump, learning to get rid of those, eating foods that are rich in omega-3s, eating food or taking supplements rich in fish oil can really help support your mental health state. And also B12 vitamins can really help support your mental health state. And not only that, vitamin D. If we could rewind back 20 years and see that everyone was outside, doing things outside, but as technology has really changed the way that we live and act, what we're starting to see is we're all inside. We're all working all the time. And while many people, I'm sure if you've had blood work before, are vitamin D deficient or deficient in other nutrients, being able to get outside, for example, and get that 15, 20 minutes of direct sunlight each day is really hard for someone who's working. It's hard to do that, to do a walk in the middle of your day or to get outside in the middle of your day. So being able to supplement it can help significantly with your mood. And sometimes we're feeling like we might be having some sadness or low on energy, when in reality, we're just not getting the nutrition that we need every day. And other ways to boost that as well is definitely drinking enough water. Choosing foods and choosing the water is already going to boost your mood automatically. And some people say, Shannon, I don't like to drink a ton of water because then I have to pee all the time. Well, yeah, that's the point. It flushes your system out, right? So we want that to happen. Just schedule your bathroom breaks, no big deal. And not only that, eating nutritious meals in and out can help you decrease inflammation in your body. Are you feeling pain? See, the reason I bring all this up is because these are all factors that affect our mental health state. If you're in pain all the time, or if you're tired all the time, or if you're feeling sluggish because of the food that you're putting in your body, and really focusing on that. And don't worry, I'll bring an expert on to talk about nutrition and movement in the coming months as well. Being able to eat these types of foods and do these types of routines that can help you feel better all around, because that's our goal. And so these are the main 4 techniques. And this is your homework for this week. I want you to focus on, what can I incorporate? What am I already doing in my mental health self-care routine, in my morning, midday, or afternoon routine? And what can I add to this routine? This can actually be a mix of all of these things together. Maybe you just opt to do a 10-minute walk around the block every day at your 15-minute break at work. That's perfect. Something small. Maybe it could be to learn to sew, or to make a quilt in front of your TV at night. Is it a hobby that you want to incorporate? What are some things that are going to help you boost your mood throughout the day? So as you're focusing on this, really choose the 1 or 2 things, and then I want you to label it as a non-negotiable item. This will be your non-negotiable moving forward. And I did not weigh as much heavily on what I wanted for a mental health routine until I put it on paper and said, this is a non-negotiable for me. And for me specifically, and my morning routine, because I always want to share what I'm doing and what's working for me and what's helped me boost my happiness level, is I wake up in the morning and I get movement right away. I get movement before my brain understands what it's doing. Because if I wait too long, then it's going to say, Shannon, we're not doing this. Believe me, I get demotivated too. So being able to do it first thing in the morning helps. And then straight after that, when I'm completed with my movement of the morning, then I will do a meditation. It's about a 10 to 15 minute meditation. I turn on music and I just focus inward and clearing out any negative emotions that I may be feeling, or just understanding anything that might be going on with my life, which helps all together. And then nutrition with my routine is I always make sure that I'm getting enough of the nutrients that I need via supplements, healthy eating, and greens. And if I'm not getting it, then I always make sure that I get blood work every single year to ensure that my levels are correct and what do I need to do to correct it. So that's another recommendation. If you haven't had blood work, this is all so important for your mental health. I cannot stress it enough. And so let me know in the comments below, what is your non-negotiable self-care item that you are going to adopt moving forward? And remember what I told you, to start small when you're building a healthy habit. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I will see you next week.